Okay, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Thank you, Sherry, for having me back. I'm so delighted to be able to show you this part, actually, because it's very exciting. Okay, I find this little beautiful fairy champignon mushroom, and it speaks to me. One, because it's in a fairy ring. Two, I find it under an oak tree. There's lots of lore and history that it is speaking to me. And I love the gills underneath. I love this part I love. So here's a piece of the soil. So this is from my yard, and and here are the roots, and it has so much life to it, even though it's been in my freezer for more than a year. And it's sort of magical that it just fits this time that I'm about to come into. And here's the other one, which, sort of this beautiful, they always remind me of like little ladies underneath these hats and these like little roots. This beauty too, which was on a big fern pile, which, speaks about fairies, but very cute. She is not just a sort of a fairy ring. She's something else. But, I don't want to say because I'm not a fungi expert. But, okay, so I find them. They inspire me. I researched them, and now I have this idea, and I think I spoke about this last time we were together, and that was about, tracing paper is your friend. I made a quick sketch. I put it all around my paper. I discover a composition which gives me the sense of flying, but also of coming in and off of the paper. So I put it in the lower left as opposed to where I had originally put it with the flying center page up in the air. No, I mean, I could have done it also where they're kind of flying off the page. That's also another way of doing that. But this is the great thing about tracing paper. You can just put it all over. You can have ginkgo leaves, you can have everything, and you can make this great composition. So now I come, with my little flying fairies, and I want to there are these two mushrooms, I picked two mushrooms, right? And perhaps their conversation, like the way that I found them, they sort of seem to be saying, I love you, please stay. And the other one's like, no, I have to go off on an adventure. So that's the feeling for me that I want to create when I am making it. So there's one who's going to be a little cooler. So I'm going to look for cooler colors in the browns and the golds and the blacks that this little mushroom is. And the other one is going to be warmer and speak of home. So how do I do that? Well, one of the things that's really important is not to just lay color out of a tube. As you can see, all of these colors are a rich combination of, raw umber, raw sienna, quin gold, some let's see, what is that? I can't see. Verona gold, ochre, burnt ochre, raw sienna. So we're playing, and you're like, oh, I can't afford to buy all these different colors. What can I do? Well, there's this amazing thing that I tell all my students, and Daniel Smith makes these little, not little, but these pages of all of their colors. They're called dot cards. And they have every color. You can see my palette is here in the very brights. All these different shades of tubes of color that they carry. And, you know, they're also great for travel. You could take these cards with you, and you don't have to take a big set, and you just, it's all with you. So let me look. So one of the things also in layering, so we have these colors down, and let's say in this Quin Gold here, I want to make it, let's say, with a hint of a blush of green. So I'm going to look for like a Purline green. Do I have that here? I'm looking. And let's see, it might be on another card here. Oh, you know what? Yes, two beautiful colors. Under the Sea green, which is right here, and also Perylene green. So what's also wonderful about these things is they have a code underneath them. So one, it's non-staining, right? 3, it is, does it have light fast? It's fair, right, if it's 3. And does it have granulation? Yes. And it's a semi-transparent. So you have all this information, and you think, oh, but, you know, do I really need this information? Yes, you need this information. One, because like a Quin Gold, it's transparent. So you're creating a conversation between the paper and your color, because that's going to shine up through. You're also going to be able to layer colors more aptly with something that is a transparent as opposed to an opaque. So, and when they're semi-transparent, that's also something that's you want to go. And you're also going to say, well, I need to lay this down very lightly. That's not my good brush. This is my good brush. I use a number 2 because I think that, and it's a Winsor Newton, it holds enough water in its base over here, and it has a beautiful, beautiful point. So where I can do very fine work. I also work with 003, which is like almost a hair when I'm going into dry brush. And dry brush is almost drawing with paint. And what you can also do here, and how to do dry brush, is you make skins. So I let that dry, and that becomes a skin for my brush later to pick up, because you want as little water as possible. So I will go again. And you're always testing before you lay anything on your paper. So here we're going to create a bit of warmth, I would say, with this green over the Quin Gold. And I don't know if you can see this, but when you can make a circle, if you can shade a circle and it creates a ball, and it's all about light and shadow. And there's also a light that bounces off, which is also gives this wonderful glow that I'm always after, kind of naturally. So there, I just laid this beautiful color. Can you guys see this? I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'll show you, like there. So, and then I'm going to wait till that dries. So that's with the undersea green, which is more of a muted green, and more of an understatement, it's not exciting, it's quiet. So all of this language of these colors go into your painting, and then therefore when your audience comes to look at it, they will feel it. This is something that's, here I can do, well, let me just do this here. So also, here's a wonderful thing. So I added, you always remember, under sea green. And you can also, because colors change, manufacturers change like things, and formulas also, so you always have to keep up. But you can also mark, it's series 1, it's a semi-transparent. The other thing is, like, there's a very important one, which is opera pink, sorry. And, many artists are in love with that color, but that color will fade within 3 years. So you always have to maybe support it with a permanent pink or a permanent rose. And learning these things, because you might, work on a painting. Some of my friends work on botanical paintings for years, and they did this opera pink, and within 3 years, it's not the painting that they made. So now we're going to take, I have a bit of Quin Gold up here. No, I'm going to try and do it the same way. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to make a quick little circle. And, I'm going to make a quick little circle. And then I will do a quick Quin Gold, which I go over here, I look, and I'm sure I'll find it on my most used paper, Quin Gold. So I make a light, and also I can make a skin of Quin for later use. But I'm going to put a little light. And you really want to keep it, giving it volume. So you shade more to on the right side. And as it heads to the light, this is reflective light in the middle. So you want to do that. Also, with all these colors in this particular thing, when you're looking, you want to add the yellow on the bottom. So always on the bottom. There's also other things like grisailles that give you form and shadow, and there are also different types of grisailles, but that's a whole other ball game and different workshop. So, okay, we're almost dry. The other thing is that with watercolor, you never want to go over your first layer until it's dry. So here we go. We're going to try the perylene green, which is non-staining. Okay, so this green has a little bit more vibrancy because it has blue in it. And it's also on the cooler side. So we just went from this warm, muted, understated green under the sea to this perylene green, which has a little bit more pizzazz. So if I might use that on the fleeing or the adventurer. And here we go. Oh, that's really beautiful. And one of the beautiful things is because this is also semi-transparent, that you see this yellow just coming through in this beautiful, beautiful way. So you see not only just the flat yellow, you see yellow, the voice reaching from beyond the green. It speaks volumes. So I think it's a lovely way to work and explore. And then sometimes, let's say I wanted to add like something like little marks and little So I might take some Moon Glow, which is a bit of a purple. Now this is a transparent color, and I can create little shadows that will give me depth and heaven. So now I have this understated, first I have Quinn on the bottom, then I have the undersea green on top of that, and now I put a little Moon Glow. So I've created this beautiful movement of color, but also I've given it volume, and so that you can put that all over your mushroom, and you have these beautiful valleys and slopes and things like that. And you can go in there, and then you can, like, let's say on the other one, if you wanted to work on something that was, let's say, a little, and I love this one, the hematite violet, which is a, it is made from minerals. So it has a granulation that undulates throughout the paint, which is beautiful. And in itself, less work for when you're trying to make little scars and little, so you just play around with that, and you can create many things. Like, so you have to use your imagination a little bit, but this is a little bit of dirt or scar on a mushroom, and it sits on top of the color. So even that color in that tiny scar, it creates life and movement. So I would say that you can explore endlessly. And one last thing, just to show you the skin. So let's say I wanted to put a little pink on there. Warm it up a little bit. And you always have to play on a little scrap of paper, which I really didn't have here, but just to give you like, and here we go into this warmth. And this is what you call dry brush. And it really is tiny, tiny hashtag strokes that live on top of the color. And you can't put too much water, because then it'll just move like watercolor tends to love to do. But this is really like drawing and creating shapes. A tiny bit of, so that's a very slow process. It could take you a very long time to do a mushroom this way. But it's not, it's a very sort of zenful way to work. And the outcome is pretty amazing, and it's mainly how I work. It's very, very tiny strokes that take forever. Anyway, that concludes my little demo. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Sherry, for having me again. It's been an awesome time and pleasure. Yeah. Thank you.